It may sound like an exaggeration, but today you're going to find out that with the glass container you have at home, maybe even one you were about to throw away, you can make a candle that lights up, decorates, and repels mosquitoes, gnats, black flies, and even house flies from your home. Just from that, you already know this isn't an ordinary candle. It doesn't melt like regular candles, it doesn't burn out quickly, and the most curious thing, its base is actually made of water. But there's a fascinating hidden detail in how this candle is assembled. And that's exactly what keeps the flame burning for a very long time, which is why this candle is widely recognized as an infinite candle. Once you understand this, it will be very easy for you to make it at home. First, you're going to need a glass container. It has to be glass, okay? And right now, I'm going to use these beautiful decorative stones here. You can use whatever you prefer. It could be artificial flowers, artificial leaves, shells, or even pearls. I'm going to use what I have at home, which are these little decorative stones. And the really cool thing is to assemble it in a glass and transparent container. Because the visual aspect is much more beautiful when you use something transparent, since it will look nice inside, you see? Now, we're going to make a small layer with these stones right here. It's important that when you use the stones, you wash them well to prevent the color from coming off into the water that we're going to use in our container. What you can't use for decoration are organic things, leaves or flowers that aren't artificial, that are natural. They can rot inside here, and that's not good because this is a very long-lasting candle. Now we're going to the second step. Look how it turned out with our little stones. Now you should level your container and then add some water. It's best if the water is really clean, okay? Now you're going to add just a little more than half the jar with some water. Check out how our container will look after you pour in the water. See the difference? It's just a little above halfway. Also, the water always needs to be above the level of the stones because if any part is left out, it will later interfere with the separation of the water and the oil that we're going to add here in a moment. And this separation is exactly what makes the candle work properly. And this is the moment when things get really interesting because now our idea stops being just decorative and becomes functional, actually turning into an infinite candle. You're going to add the oil very slowly. You can use canola oil, sunflower oil, or olive oil. And it can even be any other vegetable oil that you might already have at home. Preferably use the cheapest one you can find, okay? The oil will serve as essential fuel for the flame of our candle. And here's the visual secret of this candle because the liquid oil stays on top of the water. The water stays at the bottom and the oil stays on top. And it's exactly this that creates the effect of an infinite and very decorative candle. And now, to make your home environment much more pleasant, with a really nice scent and especially to repel unwanted insects, to keep away mosquitoes, gnats, and even flies, what you're going to do is look for some citronella essence and add a few drops like this right on top. Just a little spray, or if yours is in liquid drops, 2 or 3 drops are more than enough. And this, besides scenting the environment, will make all the flying insects leave that area. Now, we're going to the part that will really determine whether this candle will work or not. We're moving on to the wick part. First, we're going to take a plastic bottle. It can be a bottle like this one, for example, and I'm going to carefully cut off the bottom part, okay, everyone? You're going to take a knife and carefully cut this bottom part off the plastic bottle. After you remove this bottom part from the plastic bottle, you'll do some finishing work. With the help of scissors, if there's any little edge left like this, just trim it off. This finishing touch will give our whole candle project a nice look. Look how nice it turned out. Now we're going to make a little hole right in the middle. And to make this small hole in the center, you can use whatever you have at home. Here I'm going to use a hot iron, but if you don't have a hot iron, like a soldering iron, you can also use a nail heated over a flame, which works just as well. Basically, it's a little hole right in the middle that we're going to make to thread the wick we'll be using. Take a look at how it's going to look. After you prepare the wick holder, then you're going to prepare the actual wick. You can use a piece of paper, a paper towel, or even a small piece of fabric like I'm doing here. Basically, you're going to take this fabric and roll it up really tightly, just like this. It needs to be a little narrow and quite firm because this is exactly what's going to go through the hole we made here in the wick holder. Then you just put it through the hole, pull it. It needs to fit really snugly like this. And now you have your wick holder and wick ready to go. Now the bottom part of this cotton wick needs to be carefully trimmed down slightly. so that it is perfectly adjusted to reach only the surface of the oil and not touch the water at all. Otherwise, it simply won't work. Notice that now, when I put this wick here, the bottom part of the wick will only touch the oil, and the top part is exactly where we're going to light it. But before we do that, we're going to very lightly dip this top part here into the oil. And then we can easily place our wick holder directly into our candle. Wait a few minutes. In just a short while, you'll see that the oil will start to rise up the wick by capillarity. When the wick is completely soaked, that's the moment to light the candle. And this is when the magic happens. We're going to light it and you'll see it working. But before that, I want you to comment below where you're watching us from. Your city, your state, your region, so we can know how far our tips are reaching. Now just light the wick here and that's it. Once it's lit, it will start to slowly draw up the oil from below. This will ensure that our candle, even when placed outdoors where there's wind, won't go out at all. If you use this indoors, the result is even better. And this is the result, folks. A beautiful, decorative, economical candle that repels insects like mosquitoes, flies, gnats, and even midges, because what fuels the flame is the oil. As long as there's a sufficient supply of oil available, it will continue to function perfectly. Do you like simple, beautiful, and practical ideas? Here on the channel, I share free content every day, but members, of course, get access to more in-depth content, exclusive ideas, and materials that help you go beyond what you already see for free here on the channel. I also want you to leave your rating from 0 to 10 down below for today's video. From 0 to 10, what score would you give? Look, pay close attention. Don't leave this video before you watch this one I'm linking right here on the side. This video has helped thousands of people and it will help you too. Make sure you're subscribed, that you have the notification bell turned on for our channel, and most importantly, share this tip with whoever came to mind right now, because I'm sure it will help a lot of people. A big kiss to your heart. See you in the next video right here. Bye.